Ah, you found me at last. Welcome, traveller, to Altaire's Wandering Apothecary, a place where remedies and stories intertwine, and the ordinary meets the extraordinary. This apothecary doesn't stay rooted like most shops. No, it wanders, slipping through streets and alleys like a shadow at twilight, always drawn to where it's needed most. The town of Ashbourne is my home, or perhaps it's more fitting to say the town is a companion on this journey. A place of cobbled streets that twist and bend like a maze, of houses with windows that watch, and a sky so close you could reach out and pluck a star if you dared. Ashbourne is no ordinary town. It sits between the familiar and the strange, a place where magic hums quietly in the air, and the rules of the world bend ever so slightly. The market square, for example, it isn't bound by time. On certain days, you might find it bustling with merchants and visitors well past midnight, as if time itself lingers to browse the wares. But tonight, the apothecary has wandered elsewhere, down a street that wasn't here yesterday and might not be here tomorrow. This place? Elm Hollow, a quiet little corner where the trees grow tall and leaning close, as if they're listening. The folk here are simpler than most in Ashbourne, but no less interesting. They've seen enough to know that in a place like this, even the trees can hold secrets. And so the apothecary rests here. For now. Ah, but you must be wondering how this shop came to wander. A fine question, and one with no simple answer. Some say it's enchanted, bound to the ebb and flow of the stars. Others believe it's merely the wind that guides it, moving where it's needed most. As for me, I like to think it's something in between. A bit of magic, a bit of will, and a touch of serendipity. Wherever it wanders, though, the apothecary is always open to those in need. You won't find it twice in the same place for long, but if your heart is in the right spot, it will find you. Inside, you'll discover shelves lined with bottles, potions for sleepless nights, elixirs to mend broken bones, and sometimes concoctions for problems that can't quite be put into words. A dash of stardust, a hint of moonlight, and a touch of something older. Ashbourne itself is a place of many layers. To some it seems a normal town, albeit with a few odd quirks. But look a little closer and you'll see it's much more than that. There's the clock tower of Wieldwood, whose bells don't always chime at the right hour. Some say it's the town's way of keeping people from getting too comfortable. A place where time is fluid is a place where anything can happen. Beyond the tower lies the River Crescent, a winding ribbon of water that runs clear by day. But at night, well, let's just say some nights the river reflects more than it should. Those who live by the water are used to it, of course. They whisper of reflections that follow their own paths, of bridges that lead somewhere else entirely. And on the outskirts of Ashbourne lies the Vale of Larkspur, a meadow where the air always seems a little too still. Folk say the Vale is a resting place for the stars themselves, where fragments of the sky fall gently to the earth, waiting to be gathered. Some even come here hoping to catch a piece of a wish. But beware, for not all wishes are meant to be granted. There's magic here, traveller. Not the grand, fire-breathing sort, but something older, subtle, woven into the fabric of the place itself. And it is this quiet magic that the apothecary responds to. But you didn't come just to hear about the town, did you? No, I imagine you're curious about the stories that lie within these walls. Every bottle on these shelves has a tale, a history, and every visitor to the apothecary leaves with a story of their own. In the nights to come, you'll meet all manner of folk. There's Mistress Thistle Thorn, a tinkerer with knowledge far beyond her years, and a penchant for plants that shouldn't exist. Then there's old Hendrik, the baker, whose pastries have a strange habit of turning up in places he didn't leave them. And don't be surprised if you run into Corvina Blackwell, the woman with the raven who deals in things long lost. She'll be back soon, I'm sure. Each of them has a secret, and each of them comes to the apothecary in search of something, whether they know it or not. But worry not, you won't be the only one hearing their stories. You'll be joining me for each one, and perhaps by the end of it all, you'll learn a thing or two about this town, and maybe even yourself. So I'll ask you this, traveller. Are you ready to see where the apothecary will wander next? Will you follow the twisting streets, the hidden corners, and the quiet places where magic lingers just out of sight. There's much to explore and many tales yet to be told. For now, I bid you good night. The apothecary shall wander again soon, and when it does, I'll be here, ready to greet you once more. Until then, may your path be clear and your heart open to the wonders that await you.